Showdown. I don't know the map.
Oh,
it's
we're
cobblestone.
live. Oh, a bit of old cobblestone. So, Pat's Money Crew going to be starting on the CT side. Endpoint going to be on the T. And already Mighty Max going to be investing into the smoke double flashbang, of course. Probably going to be smoking out Connector, flashing these T players out through platform, you would imagine, as they make their way. Or do they, Jack? Going to be leaving just Aaron alone towards B platform. But even he's going to have second thoughts as the indecision comes through as they make their mark back towards middle. Probably going to be a mid take. Obviously, Max has the flash through mid, flash towards the site as well, and the smoke for door. But it's Dox. Can he try and stop this Endpoint assault?
He is the kit boy, but let's see if he can be the USP boy into the round. Misses the initial frags, they will be able to push through, sprint their way up towards the A site as they slowly advance and get more ground to help themselves. Dox as well tried to reface and go for a second attack. It doesn't work out, but it is going to be crit to actually come in massive as he finds a double kill. Lazar puts him to bed as the site control now falls into a 3v3 retake.
3 versus 3. No utility left here for Endpoint. And the kit was dropped towards Connector Harry C. There's a nice cracking shot into a 3 versus 2 now. 1 player advantage for Pat's Money Crew as they make their assault now and the retake begins.
Max trying to peek out, using those abilities as he hits some of the Force Lightning. That's 2 down in seconds, and it's just Laney remains. And Laney, I hope he's lanky because he runs away and then he'd have bigger legs and it'd allow him to travel more distance in a quicker time.
That is very true. That is extremely true. Obviously, it's going to be Endpoint here taking the pistol as Laney going to be saving the Kevlar. So $650 saved as he can now invest into even maybe, has he got a frag? No, he hasn't, so he can't jump over a scout. Can invest into a UMP. Has the Kevlar, can buy a smoke flashbang maybe as well, can flash towards platform, try to get those pistols up close, try to play a bait setup, flash those pistols in for some great Counter-Strike. But we will see very shortly. Some gaming by Curry's
From Curry's PC World,
of course. But Endpoint take the first pistol. Doc's playing towards Connector is quite hard, obviously, being the kit boy as well. If you miss those early shots and the site's theirs, retaking the A site, especially versus Glocks when you have no utility, it's quite a difficult task to manage, Jack, and pull off.
Yeah, it can be. Dox though.
Ooh. He has no Kevlar.
Yes, that's the most ridiculous face. Somehow he's just gone, oh, no, I'm all right. And walk back. It's like walking down a dark alleyway. You've seen 2 guys just go, I'm all right. There's a 360 and walks off.
No
Somehow
Kevlar.
he's still got his wallet.
He had no Kevlar. Oh, dearie me. It's good to be back here, Jack.
I love it. I love UKC.
He is going to be tested, though. Dox towards A long. This is going to be Pulse. Ooh. Slowly but surely making his way, but Harry C trying to see if he can boost up on the frag onto Weber, and actually the weapon, sorry, but instead it's been dished away.
Aaron, he's ready to have them if they do push out. They're all boosted up, they're just lying in wait, Snugs. There's a minute on the clock. He's going for a bit of a tap as he hopes they will push towards him. Slowly but surely, Endpoint develops something out of the round.
Yeah, obviously 2 players here from Pat's Money Crew. The problem is here, Jack, they haven't taken the risk to go for a stack. They found the first frag, but they're still playing a default setup. Simply put, I still think Endpoint have the advantage here. Pat's Money Crew had to take a risk. Stack B, stack drop, stack somewhere, because now they're going to be overrun.
Dox goes down, the push comes through. Pulse with the first entry. It should be fairly easy frags from the actual distance they have. They should be able to pop off these heads, fight their way through as they move in as a unit, slowly take it map control here as well. Aaron going to come around. He is the critical factor into this. Nearly shoots Mighty Max though as Lazar does all the damage. Double kill comes through for him. Max as well going to pop the head clean off of Lols as he rolls down to the ground. Harry goes down last. And that is the second round for Endpoint there, only taking 2 casualties.
Yeah, that's the issue there for Pat's Money Crew. Obviously, you find the first frag towards drop onto Weber. You can't retrieve the weapon. You can see the thought process trying to boost up there towards drop. Grab the AK from Weber's corpse, but obviously Aaron, smart play, sends the AK back in towards the T-spawn side of drop. And if you're Pat's Money Crew and you have the 1-player advantage, you have to be going for a risky stack somewhere. Take that risk. You're not going to win in a simple 2-1-2 default when it's a 4-1 take towards the A side. Dox trying to take you know, the dance of destiny once again.
First coming out towards B as well, as they just want to bludgeon everyone towards that site. They find the first few frags. Aaron and Webb pick them up fairly easily. It should be a bit of a clean sweep, rather, as they don't really have too much to work with. It's just the pistols, no utility snogs, they can't be delayed. If anything, if they can just try and focus these frags on the weapons that aren't going to give Endpoint a lot more money to play with, that would be nice, but it's not really gone down that way. So Endpoint will grab that third round. That would be ideal.
That would be ideal. Ooh, inside jokes are the best sometimes, but Dox last alive. We'll find one for his time and his troubles, but eventually going to be taken out and dished. A harsh reality, and that is now a 3-0 for Endpoint going forward into the first buy round.
You see on Pat's Money Crew, does that not remind you of
what we got? Zentares? Who have we got there?
Yeah.
Zentares? The screen's quite...
They've got some, you got like a Nico there. I want to say...
Simple? That's not Nico. That's
it's
Spitty?
Nico's 2, right?
Can we see Harry C? Is that Observer? Is there a chance we can see Harry C? Is that Nico?
It looks like a small head Nico.
It does, doesn't it?
It probably is.
Or maybe it's Mouse Sports. How can I forget his name?
Mean,
How have I forgot his name?
Or who do you mean? Anyway, push coming through as they try and burst round. Crit struggled there, so...
He's running into his
Why is he just ran? He's just... Oh.
This is quite different.
I haven't experienced this in a while.
Oh, my goodness. Remember now towards drop, going for the second chance, but actually we'll be losing our duel once again, so 4 versus 3 here. Lowell's onto 1 HP, it's extremely low. Let's see, Docs with the ult misses the shot once again, going to be rotating in through balcony. The problem is though, Jack is given up the site. He lands the second shot though, so maybe there's a chance into this one here for Pat's Money crew.
Docs, let's see if he can continue. As this push comes through, Max going to try and be a sneaky little stealthy boy though, as he slips up onto the bomb site. Gets himself into a good position. Lazar as well, trapped as the angle was held by the AWP of Docs. Lands the tag, but doesn't actually kill him. Just tags him down to 11 HP there. And Lazar on the reface just eliminates him in seconds. Brutal stuff coming through. Caught on the cross though as he was so low. So Max's hands forced. He has to try and plant the bomb as the push comes up. Lol's just playing close by truck as well. They have supporters. They slowly reposition together. So now there's a 3 versus 1 retake. Max would need to be outrageous if he somehow wants to win this round. It's all on his decision-making as he peeks through. Max getting caught. Couldn't try and take the 1v1 fights. It's down just for the fact that he was overwhelmed. And that is going to be PMC getting their first round on the board here, their CT side.
Extremely strange round we just witnessed there. An A-long default. They find the first frag. Crit. Panics, essentially, as this flashbang out, trying to flash peek towards long.
He wanted to get out of there.
He wanted to get out, but he... we'll forget about that play. Going in towards drop as well. Weber gets the same boost. They money out towards electric. Lowell still wins that duel for a second time. So for Endpoint, obviously, so far 2 wins in the Premiership. I mean, we look at the teams that we expect to see coming out of the group stages, Jack. We're expecting Wind and Rain, shut up. Wind and Rain, Fish 123, Vexed, Endpoint as well as the 4 teams essentially. Especially once it does go into the bracket play, the best of 3s and whatnot. But I guess we'll find out shortly, as it will be the open to Lazar this time. And let's see what impact he's going to be having into this one. Is he going to be going towards the B long positions, taking some map control with that AWP, or is he going to be simply a trade vessel?
Well, Doc, he's got an AWP. He's missed with it on the initial face, and he has been tagged up as well. So he's forced to run back now, and he's 16 HP is all he has left. Doesn't matter too much. If you can find a defensive angle to at least put the weapon to use, it could still be okay. But it's not the best start, especially for his confidence as well. Going to force him to reposition. Playing a bit of a cheeky angle. Looks like he's second-guessing himself a bit.
They've all run out mid when he's pulled his knife out. Okay, they crit now. Let's see if they get a better chance or a better play than he had in the last round when they came towards your bomb site. Docs going to be left alone now towards a crit. Gets taken down when he goes for the wide face. Max tears his head up, and now the peek comes in. 1 frag, but a 1-for-1 trade as Aaron will be getting the trade frag towards balcony. So not really worth that hassle. 4 versus 3 now. 1 player advantage for Endpoint. As the flank comes in from behind, it's going to be Lowell's. As we wait patiently. They have the defuse kit, Jack, so they can't play the time, and it all comes down to this mid-flank to come in from the rear and try catch Endpoint off guard. Yeah,
the pincer play, it was all held on a linchpin that was Lowell's. Lowell's goes down, and this kind of sells the idea of a full-on save. It means they can't try and continue on for the play. So Harry and Laney are going to have to just fall back and try and hold on to these weapons. The T's aren't hunting. Endpoint do play it smart as they just want to try and hold on to the weapons they already have in their inventories. Just back off, exit together through mid, and get through to live to fight another day. So only 1 casualty, and that is Max that went down. So it's not really too bad for Endpoint. Ideally, they can instantly continue on throughout this.
Who is that? I mean, from this far away, it looks like Rops. Do you know what I mean? It has to be Nico, surely. Or is it Frozen? It might be Frozen. From Extatus.
I don't know, man.
Exertus.
It's really in the distance. I'm really trying. I got quite close to the monitor. I can't see.
It has to be Frozen.
If you know which player that is,
tweet us.
In. Hashtag ESL Prem.
Hashtag ESL Prem. But Pat's Money crew going to be having their money reset now. Deducted down onto a Mag 7 there for Docs. CZ for Crip. And only 2 rifles to work with. And one of those rifles, Jack, going to be a FAMAS for Lowell's. AWP as well for Laney. They had the fuse kits. No Molotovs, but 1 smoke here left. And there's only a minute 40. Sorry, there is still a minute 40 on the clock. Not only. Quite an abundance of time. So in terms of the utility here for Pat's Money crew, it isn't really looking too stellar. And Endpoint, if they play that slow, steady round, play more of a default style of CS, they can take a long control, take B plat control, which they already have, so just hold on to this. And basically take control of the map and try and exploit the fact that the CTs are lacking so much utility to fend off, you know, defaults, map control. If an execution comes in as well from Endpoint towards that A or B site, there's no Molotovs to deter them.
Well, as of right now, they're grouped up, slowly trickling their way in towards mid. They've got control towards close matrix, so they're going to be able to peek up soon. But the bomb slowly turns away. Max is going to be backing off. If they do want to try and go for a late round ruse and then default back towards B, it is possible. But need to draw this rotate off soon.
Yeah, this is weird from Pat's Money Crew. You can see the players are playing close towards platform, but they have no information. No information towards A long. Lols did take a cheeky little glance there towards B platform, but there's no AWP here, for example, to hold that long-range angle. So Pulse can do this execute of this fake, to such a large degree because there is no information anywhere else.
But they're still not even fell for it. No one's been seen towards the A site. Endpoint now just run out. A double kill comes through from Lols. The Max 7 going to work wonders as well as it punishes them from up close. All of a sudden, it's just Lazza left and a 1v3. Bomb going to go down. As he gets the smoke as a bit of wall of protection as well. Going to peek through, try and clear these angles. He's got his scope out. He can be a very effective sniper with a weapon, but is he going to bite off more than he can chew? Pushing in very deep here as Harry C will give away the game, makes the flash push, but actually finds success with the M4 as well. Lazza loses out in that firefight. Pat's Money Crew get themselves a second round as we go through to round number 7 now.
2-4, so maybe we have more of a game on our hands than expected. Obviously, when we were anticipating this matchup, we thought it was going to be extremely one-sided for the Endpoint team, especially after claiming the pistol as well, then winning the second buy round after resetting Pat's Money Crew. Pat's Money Crew lost that round with the force buy. We saw, you know, shotguns, CZs, essentially, they're going to be forced onto an eco. You know, we could have been seeing, you know, a 6-1 scoreline essentially for Endpoint into this matchup already. So good salvation there from Pat's Money Crew to keep this one competitive so far. As it will be the double op setup to come out from Pat's Money Crew, potentially trying to counter a default-esque style of play. Let's see if Endpoint use their grenades to great efficiency, and so far they do. Docs runners off the AWP towards a long body. Ooh, actually, all he's doing, Jack, is baiting in for crits. So hopefully we don't see a seized moment here, and we see him actually seize the moment. Nearly. I nearly had that.
Almost, mate. Nearly,
yeah.
5 stars for effort.
I'll give it 4.
Crit, he's holding the angle. Docs comes around to try and make their lives a bit easier. They run straight through. They're not going to clear it. He needs to bide his time correctly, though, and actually decide what he wants to do. You can see the trigger discipline's there, but no idea with the actual target and the timing as he will spam into the back of bombs. Obviously, it's not summing it up there into the round. Oh, God, that was a bit of a weird one. Push coming through. Lol's going to try and defend from the close van. They finds the initial headshot as he actually gets supported by his teammates. Is Harry C the only one that's finding success with the M4 as he just fire against them? It's going to be Max and Aaron now. 2 AKs apiece as they need to try and slaughter everyone in front of them. As they whip out the AKs, but can they slay from far away? Flashbangs keeping them confused. They need to try and push up. Lols is on the close angle. Max has to spot it up, but he needs to be correct with the time and try and take these fights together. They double peek him. He gets the first frag and the second. Max with a nice little tap there. Takes down Harry in seconds, and it all falls on towards Laney. He's got the AWP, but he's not got much time to play with. Max is going to be able to get a free bomb plant and then fall back and play for a defensive angle. He's already got 3 frags into this round, and he's looking to try and get the 4th. This Laney tiptoes out, scope out, trying to clear these angles as he pushes through. Max already has the drop on him, has the angle, a bit of an awkward spray, but he still does it. Max will take him down, clutches out around for Endpoint. And
there you have it. The mighty Max himself. 2-5 will be the scoreline as Pat's Money Crew get their money reset for a second time so far. This is only round number 8, which means this does not bode too well here for the CT side going forward as the game continues on. Their money is going to be shattered and essentially reset. Lols on $1,400. Apart from that, it's going to be the Falika coming across the board for 4 of the players. Crit going to be investing into a CZ and Kevlar. So it's maybe a double save here, Jack. And if it is, looking at what? 7-2 scoreline. You give Endpoint so much cash to work with as well, so they're going to be having so much economical pressure onto you as well because they can buy round and round again, even if you find victory. But Lazza, about to have a field day.
Oh, he's missed the initial shot. He's missed the second. Lazar needs to try and get it back together right now. It's Whiff City as he eventually is able to adjust himself, but his Pulse arriving on the prowl for a double kill. He's going to be able to come back through. It's just Max to hold it from what was just a burst out here as well. Fair bit of damage done. Laney finds himself with a 2K into the round. Pulse, Lazar, and Aaron are all down and out. And Laney can just save this AWP. He can just hold on to that. There's no reason to actually try and do any more. You've done more than enough damage. Sure, concede the bomb plant, give him the 6th round, but just hold on to the AWP and give yourself a bit of leeway to play with.
That was extremely uncharacteristic there for Lazar. 3 misses. Well, obviously they're still gaining the round. 6-2 with the scoreline going forward, but you have given an AWP to Laney. So if we could see the cash, if that's not too much to ask for, please. If we could see the money of the Pats Money Crew side. Thank you so much. So, well, they can buy now. Laney has enough to drop over the AWP, obviously, to Docs. Docs can drop over an M4 to LOL. So they can have a full buy now, all because the AWP was salvaged by Laney going forward. So there will be a buy here for Pats Money Crew, which means Endpoint not going to be having that extra round versus the Eco.
So, saving the AWP actually being very, very crucial there for the round. Sack can be dropped out. The M4s can be redistributed. Famas as well. So Laney actually pumped a lot of cash into this one. I mean, he goes without utility for the round.
Ooh. That was quite good to see. Harry C had $4,000. Had enough to go for an M4 buy, but obviously was only going to be able to afford, what, a smoke grenade and that's it. Instead, a rare sight to see as well, Jack, especially in the UK scene. A player going for utility over firepower. Never thought I'd see the day. But setup coming out towards the B site. Smoke comes out towards the broken wall. Lower's playing inside the smoke, probably going to be listening for some footsteps. As this could get extremely awkward here very shortly for Endpoint as they group up behind the smoke. Flashbang's probably going to come out and they're going to burst this site.
Aaron's the man you'd want to try and assault them first here on the entry. Lols plays correctly with the timing, actually does get it to work fantastically for him as he finds 2 frags. Lazar is the only one alive into this round. It's going to be awkward for him as he fights out, actually does land a flick. He's making up for his previous moments of mischief into the prior round as he wants to try and really deal some damage and show exactly what he can do with the AWP as he
tree jump, let's see it, come on.
Goes for the play. Oh, he lands it as well. He's up there. He's up top, Snance. He has the high ground. He tries to fire down, gets the first, takes out his Padawan. He's ready for the second as Laney hides, lying in wait with the AWP out. Lazar, he's got the contact. He spotted him. He's already had 3 into this round. This will be a show reel if he can find the 4. 50 seconds on the clock, just waiting to see if Laney's going to push through. Mistakes were made, and he is taken down. Joe
Lazar loose. With the 1 versus 2, the finesse as well on the tree jump. When push comes to shove, that man delivered. 7-2, a 5-round deficit now for Pats Money Crew as their money's going to be in a shambles. Pretty much the 4th time in this game. I mean, this is getting quite ridiculous now for Pats Money Crew. There's no consistency behind their rounds. They cannot gain 2 in a row, but they can, you know, at least field and establish some sort of economy to go forward and allow themselves to buy back after having defeat into a round. Instead, they're always forced back onto pistols and deducted down to such a weak buy. But UMP for the Mighty Max himself, obviously going to be claiming his reward, and that reward being $600 apiece onto these unarmored opponents.
Site control just been conceded here, absolutely for free. It's been given into the hands of the Endpoint boys as they just walk up on site and lock it down. Laney going to be coming back over. Harry C for first contact as well. All he has is that Mag 7, so he's not really going to be able to fight efficiently. Docs goes down in a matter of seconds as Lazar will locate him with the AWP, fire against him. So numbers dwindling for PMC right now. There's only 3 of them alive. And this is going to be the backstab as well that could end it. You see right behind, running in the rear with the UMP. Max trying to get behind them. Damage is actually done as Crit comes in with the entry off the CZ. They find some success, but there's Max and Pulse to stop it before it gets out of hand.
Well, going to be another buy round here for Pats Money Crew. Hopefully something more optimistic to say about them into this one. They've had their 2 buy round victories as well, so they definitely can topple and overthrow Endpoint in some of these buy rounds. The issue is, obviously, there's no continuity, there's no consistency behind that. They instantly get reset time and time again. Can they try and gain their 3rd round, get a 4 on the board as well on their CT side? But it's going to be Lazar in the charge. Flash comes in, and a great flash as well. Lazar goes for the reface and concedes the first frag to Docs. So now 5 versus 4 as we head into this one. The advantage in favor of Pats Money Crew. Can they hold on to it? This is the issue here for Mighty Max & Co. They're a man down, and they're trying to gain that leeway back.
Ooh, lols with the timing here. Depending on how he opts to play it, could be very useful. She does get spotted out though as Pulse and Max will try and fight against him. Pulse comes around with the pre-fire peek. Luckily Crit was there to trade it, at least keep it in hot contention between either side. But Max, he now grabs them the upper hand as they fall back into this position. They can try and take A site control Snons as the rotate comes over.
Yeah, shame he has no utility though. Last smoke from Endpoint going to be dished out towards connector door. Docs with the flashbang over. As they do group up here towards the A site, Mighty Max lurking underneath balcony as well, has the close range angle and the jump out towards Balk. Teammate Weber going to be holding out towards connector. And Weber just came from the A site, from B site as well, so he knows no one is coming from the flank. They anticipate all players coming through connector.
Oh, Max with the initial headshot, Aaron as well. Finds one back on towards Docs. Now it's just Laney left. Time is way too far ticked as well. No real chance of achieving anything, but he is just going to be holding for those exit frags. See if there's any confident players on the Endpoint side he can attempt to go up against, but stay focused on an angle there. He was too focused trying to jump between either side. Expected a push to come out through door. He gets pushed from Hobbit. Max takes him down. It's a very awkward way to go towards the end as well. Rebuy now comes out for Endpoint. Meanwhile, Pat's Money Crew, pretty broken in terms of the economy Snods. There's not too much there, as they will just lightly rebuy up armor across the board and a couple of CZs coming out as well.
Yeah, just going to be the Causey buy here. 2-9 now as we head into round number 12. As this lead is starting to get quite ridiculous now for Endpoint. Most likely, when you look at the comparison between the two buys as well, going to be seeing a double-digit T-half already here for Endpoint, as they do have the full weapon arsenal in their inventory. The utility to back it up, the AKs, also the first frag found by Lazar. Now for Pat's Money Crew, if they can see the 10th round already for Endpoint, they're going to have to try and salvage for an 11-4 half, really, Jack. 11-4 half, try and win the second half pistol and fight back into it with the buffer from those pistol rounds.
Well, Laney here, attempting to give you a 101 on the CZ. If we do see this push come through, it can be a very effective position when using the correct angle. Rolls as well, forces his hand here as Molotov comes round. Max going to spot him out as he lands the headshot. Laney up close personal, tried to go toe-to-toe, but falls short and couldn't overpower them in the middle of that fight. As now the B site has been claimed. It is in control of Endpoint. They've locked it down, Snods, set up themselves a nice little shop, and that's where they're going to be living.
What would they sell at their Endpoint?
What, the Endpoint shop?
Yeah, what would it sell? Would it sell... Gosh, what would it sell? Trying to think of something funny and edgy to say, but I can't. What have you got? You got a smile
I
on
went
your
for
face.
disappointment. That was my line.
I wasn't thinking something abstract. I was going to say maybe new contract.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Sales.
Sales.
It could be a sales position.
Maybe. 2-10. Not really too much to talk about this matchup. Obviously, it can be kind of hard to, get into these games where it is extremely one-sided and the opposition, that being Pat's Money Crew, are unable to really amount to anything into these rounds. They have 2 buy rounds, one instantly be reset twice. So 10-2 down. Let's see if we can see a resurgence here in the latter portions of the first half. Pulse with the aggression towards middle, going to be backed up as well by 3 of his teammates. It's going to be Aaron alone towards the B side, dishes out his grenades towards platform. And Jack, first game backcasting the UK boys, and we see 4-1 Sala CS. I've missed it.
It's a classic, really. Absolutely vintage when you
I'll
think
use
about
my
it.
grenades towards B, and let's go A.
Yeah, the old standard. Pulling your leg and then running away. Kind of like a game of Knockdown Ginger.
It actually really is.
We're just going to ring the doorbell and then sprint to A site and hope nobody notices. Push comes through.
Whoa.
Doc's going to be dinked down though initially, but luckily Crit had the confidence to go for the face and get the spray down back on Pulse. So that actually is a fairly effective rifler taken down very early on now towards this push. It stunts the growth from Endpoint as well. They need to try and readjust because they can't continue on in the manner they had to. Lazar does actually find success though. Lands the headshot back and towards Doc, send his lips rolling off across the map. The double spray comes out from Crit. He actually finds both of those frags on Max and Aaron. That is very uncharacteristic of him.
Bit harsh there, mate, but we'll carry on. Weber, Lazar, 2 versus 4. Crit is onto low HP, obviously, finding the double spray down. Actually gets flashed by his own teammate, so was going to go for the mid peak. Maybe that now gives room for the Endpoint boys. Lazar. Weber trying to chime in as well and help his team at Banana 1 versus 3. The second time he's found himself in this scenario. Does he expect the push from behind? And no, he doesn't. Lols leaps out of the balcony. Comes in from behind. Secures the 3rd round now for Pat's Money Crew. Endpoint are going to be happy with this half, nevertheless. Even if Pat's Money Crew claim the remaining 2 rounds and it goes 10-5, Jack, I still think Endpoint are going to be rather content going into their CT side of double digits already.
Yeah, for them it's been a pretty good half already. Obviously that T side's where you expect them to soar ahead as much as they can, actually get those buffer rounds down. So it's been a good round so far. If they continue out on their second half, oh, God help them.
No Deagles. Haven't seen any Deagles yet, have we?
It's very true.
5 versus 5 here still. Minute 30 left on the clock, obviously. Round number 14, the penultimate round of this first half of our first game back. Orp for Lazar. We've already seen some show-stopping flicks, but obviously quite interesting for Lazar as well. Those rounds happen in the latter portions. You know, it's always when he's in a 1 versus 3 or it's a 2 versus 4, for example. One of the big things for me is how does Endpoint utilize an Orp like Lazar? But I guess who really cares? Whoever's the one finding the entries anyway. 4 versus 4 now. As Endpoint coming back towards the A site, the old faithful. This time last round, Crip found that double spray down. What's going to happen now for Pat's Money Crew when they lack that individual star player and the individual star frag?
Well, they're about to be hit from either angle. Pulse comes through with the initial contact. Pulse as well. A second crisp headshot on towards Laney as he just slays him in seconds. Max from the rear. It's his favourite place to be.
He loves it.
As he takes down Crit. Forcing Docs to sprint out of there, get away, stay alive for another day. And meanwhile, Endpoint are going to get themselves 11 rounds here at the half as a minimum.
Yeah, could be 12. And it most definitely may be 12, actually, Jack, when you look at the reset once again here for Pat's Money Crew. Deducted down to, my goodness, what, $2,000 there for Lols. 2,200 for Laney, 1,400 for Harry C, 3.5k for Chris. We can buy a FAMAS at least. Docs, if he saves, can drop over a FAMAS as well. So maybe there's some silver lining here. Orp, 2 rifles maybe. Maybe, what, CZ for Harry. The UMP could come out as well potentially. So in terms of the buy, it's not really looking too sharp. But let's see if they can try and, you know, gain some confidence with these, you know, deducted down rifles and pistols into Mag 7s, MP9s. What else are they going to be wielding here into the final round? CZ. Oh, actually, the shotgun. So CZ for Lols. Harry C going to be on the shotgun. FAMAS there for Crit as well. So they have the fuse kits, 1 Molotov as well. That was saved by Docs.
Docs on the AWP. We've seen him try to go for a few peaks with this. Hasn't really worked out too well. This time the initial contact just forced him back as well, so still nothing too monumental maybe written down about him. Harry C. Let's see if he's got the Harry shot potential with the shotgun as he waits for the frag to come through.
Molotov is going to be burning his tippy toes, as his own teammate Smoke will just slap him in the thigh.
Have that.
Have that. Well, stalemate now. Minute 10 left on the clock. Bomb still towards outside drop. 3 players here stationed towards drop as well, coming out from Endpoint. So most likely going to be Weber and Co coming in towards drop. Didn't really work too well in the early portions of the game. But now it seems like they found their formula. That's been effective later on. Orp as well for Lazar, and he's going to be coming back towards the B site. Harry C will go for a quick cheeky glance. Spots the heads of Mighty Max and Aaron. He thinks, do you know what? We're going to be forgetting about this one. Still, stalemate, as I said, 30 seconds left. Your Endpoint going to be grouping up here towards the B-bomb site, or not. Going to be having 1 player, that's Pulse. This time it's going to be Pulse to sell the fake, or not. This is getting quite strange, Jack.
I think they're going for it.
This is getting very strange, Jack.
Laney with the MP9, he kills 1, he tries to do more, but Max, he's causing some mischief as he starts to meet their makers towards the bomb site with his rifle, runs them down, and has more to do as well. Bounds down towards the site, Lazar interesting play, and Docs will be able to leave him dead on the ground. A bit of a weird one at the half, but we do have Pat's Money Crew getting an additional round. They're going to have 4. It'll be 11 in the bank for Endpoint as we go through at half-time.
Yeah, this looks like the 3rd victory here for Endpoint in the Premiership. Obviously, when you look at the teams on paper, Endpoint having a drastically better history between those players. And for Pat's Money Crew, I mean, Crit had some nice rounds, but also had some awful rounds. Docs, how would you sum that one up?
Yeah, it was alright. I'll give you that.
You give me that?
I'll
Is that
give
all
you
you're
that to
gonna?
go
Is that
off.
all you're gonna give me?
I don't know, mate. There's not much to say, really. It was kind of more Endpoint than Pat's Money Crew, so.
That is extremely true. Obviously, second half pistol, if it goes in favor of Endpoint on their CT side as well, Jack, what? Say Pat's Money Crew don't get the bomb down, Endpoint win the pistol 12-4, they win versus the 4 spy, win versus the eco, they gain the consolation rounds as well. Yeah, I mean a 14-4 scoreline, you would just be writing this one off quick as that.
Are you looking at my notes?
I'm looking at what you've drawn. Yeah, what have you drawn?
It's my notes, mate.
What is that? Is that, what is that?
I don't know.
It looks like,
It's Max.
maybe.
Why is that a maybe for that being Max? Doesn't look anything like Max. But as things go on here at the Premiership, as we're in halftime talk, sponsored by ESL, halftime talk with Jack and
Halftime
Snots.
talk.
Meanwhile, if you guys are out there,
This
you've
is where
got some favourite moments from Counter-Strike in the UK scene. Say it from Counter-Strike Source or CSGO. Why don't you tweet in? I want to see your favourite moments throughout the UK scene history. Obviously, there's a few great moments out there, like Counter-Strike is Confidence.
Luke Critical Green.
It's absolutely fantastic.
What was the? You dropped one earlier, mate. You dropped the rattlesnake one earlier in the cast.
Yeah, that's true. Because right now, Dan just seems to be going sick with his Deagles. If he keeps up to next half, God help him.
Yeah.
That's always a classic. Well, let us know what your favourite Counter-Strike moment from the UK scene is. Hit us up with hashtag ESL Prem. And let us know.
Yeah, this is the moment here, Jack, where I'd love to have like a call-in segment.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, hang on. Well, my phone's going right now, Studs.
Oh yeah, what is that? That's a nice ringtone you got there, mate.
Oh, hello. Oh, your kicks. Oh, it's Neil.
Oh,
Neil's
it's
on the
Neil
line.
Murphy.
Neil, how have you been?
Very good. Obviously, just coaching my team. Oh, you've signed to the Imperial, actually. Business and salary on the way. Oh, everything is fantastic.
Oh, great, Neil. It's good to hear from you.
Hey, brilliant, mate. Honestly, who do you reckon's gonna have this one, Neil?
Oh, well, for me, it's going to be the Endpoint with the Mighty Max.
The Mighty
It's the Mighty.
Well, there's two Neils.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Well, thanks a lot, Neil.
Cheers,
and
Neil.
hopefully we can maybe get on the desk sometime. You know, maybe for the finals, maybe for the bracket play.
Oh, you would love it when you use salary.
Oh, we would.
kicks.
Yeah, you're very right. We would. Well, anyway, we'll catch back with you later, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers, Neil. Thank you.
And that was Neil Murphy. Thanks for
Always good to
thanks
hear
for
from the
calling.
fans.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, it's good.
So, I believe we are going live with it soon. I can see the grey freeze time, which means it should be momentary.
Yeah, I've just got word from Mr. M himself.
Oh, the game is ready.
All right.
Cheers, Neil. Match is live, and there you have it. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Endpoint, are they
there you
going to
go.
be?
Harry C is Styko. That's where you know. So it was Mouse
Oh.
Sports. There you go. 5 points to Gryffindor.
Would I be Gryffindor?
I don't know, mate. Probably more of a Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Or whatever the one with the badger is, because you're a badger.
Yeah, definitely. Well, here we go. Fast towards drop.
Straight down drop, but let's see if they're going to be hitting the deck. Pulse ready to try and make their Pulse line go flat as he tries to find the first frag. His teammates won't be having too much success though. Aaron and Mighty Max already out of the equation, but here comes Pulse. Hot as ever, quick off the draw. Support with Weber as well. So they are actually able to punish the opposition that have claimed this B site in seconds. Everyone is absolutely obliterated. Pulse will find the majority of the frags. That is going to be a defuse coming through as well. So Endpoint get the opening pistol, and that is a very bad start. That doesn't foreshadow well for Pat's Money Crew not being able to find the pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, losing both pistols, having their money reset as well 3 times on the CT half. 12-4 now, 8-round advantage for Endpoint going forward into the second half here after claiming the pistol. Bomb was planted though for Pat's Money Crew, so maybe that's a silver liner they need, Jack. Endpoint versus the Eco now into round number 17 should gain their 13. And then Pat's Money Crew in the third round of the second half should be able to invest into the AK buy, and potentially that is where we see some, form, something to, be confident about Pat's Money Crew going forward into the Premiership. Otherwise, they may be the team that does get auto-relegated. But then again, they actually have a win so far in Prem, Jack, versus Thomas.
That is true. That
And
was
Dom.
quite a big upset. And this could be a bit of an upset sight as well. Weber just waiting, causing a massacre there with the M4 as the push comes towards him. It's just Crit and Lol's left. Pulse is going to try and take the firefight. There's the Deagles we were talking about, though, actually starting to come out. Let's see if there can be some damage with these weapons as well. Aaron, on the peak, just finds us really easy headshots. Nice stuff there as he takes down Crit as well. An Endpoint, pretty close to actually locking this one down. They've just got to tackle the buy that comes out here from PMC that are now also Endpoint. So it's Endpoint versus Endpoint.
Sometimes that really does happen.
When they fight themselves.
Oh,
that was good. That was good. Well done.
Thanks.
That was a good little meme.
Endpoint versus Endpoint. Well, let's see.
It's just like Gfinity Finals all over again.
Yes,
With the semi-finals.
Season 2 Gfinity all over again, Jack.
When the push comes out, Aaron with 2 as he just starts to slaughter them, charges in as well, trying to use the tempo against them, but he will fall short because of it. Laney strikes with the AK and takes him down, but Pulse is there to return the favour. Comes down to a 2v2 in the battle of attrition. A couple of awkward peeks coming through. Lazar as well can't really assist Pulse there because the position he was in and the weapon he's chosen to wield into this one as he has the AWP on the retake, 1 minute and 10. Bomb hasn't gone down as he starts to back off. Just waiting to try and go for these shots. Scopes in, clears around. No one's actually going to peek him. There's a flashback face as well, so he's just in the open with his pants around his ankles. And Harry C will find the frag.
Wow, 13-5. Maybe this is what Pat's Money crew needed. As they go for the B take, the smoke towards Broken Wall. The flashes came in, they rained in towards that B bomb site. Found the frags. Bomb was eventually planted, but not before Luz was eventually taken down. And in the 1 versus 2. And Luz is a great player in those clutches. Very good with his positioning, very good at isolating those 1 versus 1s. Definitely a scary moment there for Pat's Money crew, but they will pull through the victory. So 13-5 now. Still going to be in an 8-round deficit, Jack, so nothing really too crazy here for Endpoint to be worried about. They're not going to be paranoid as of yet. Maybe if we see Pat's Money crew get to 8 or 9 rounds, that paranoia could definitely settle in.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No, I watched the ECS, them versus Rise, and after that performance, man, definitely not believing.
Good dodge there, to be fair. That was pretty good. Weber waiting. Deagle comes out, trying to deal some damage as he gets the first tag on towards Lols, and we'll leave him on the ground as well. Docs, he was a little bit too slow to actually try to trade that back and keep them into a manageable spot. So this is good for Endpoint as well. Try and whittle out those AKs, force them to have lesser numbers on the side of PMC before we get into the late round. But Max actually oversteps his boundaries, takes the fight and goes down. Weber comes back in for some sloppy seconds though.
Ooh, crit there. We'll find one. Lazar misses the flick, and will actually eventually be taken out by Laney before he gets a second frag as well. So now it's Pulse in the 1 versus 3. Just going to have a CZ to aid him in this scenario. No utilities. He throws at his final flashbang. Still, how many bullets has he got left? 14 with the AK as he whips out the flick headshot onto Harry C. Another 1 versus 2. They know exactly where he is. They have the rotations cut off as well. The bomb making its way now towards the A-bomb site. This is going to be 6th round for Pat's Money crew, unless Pulse can go crazy. But then again, has an AWP. Might as well save that. Can drop over his CZ as well, potentially as well. So just save onto what you have already. Keep
the AWP in your inventory. Use that into the next one. Obviously get that back in the hands of Lazar. This isn't too bad though. Endpoint can actually afford to concede rounds here. So PMC are going to get themselves a slight flurry of rounds back in, try and work something out with this as they continue on. Meanwhile for Endpoint, it's just a matter of being able to keep their heads together. Not really get over frustrated, just take it as it is. Because as soon as you get the full buyout, that's when you basically close this one down. It's just not enough rounds, It's
just not enough rounds.
Only 30. You can only do so much with 30 rounds.
Wow. 13-6. Pulse has the AWP to potentially drop over to Luz. Obviously, Luz having no care for loss, so there could be quite an argument over this one.
Repulsal, like Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, yeah.
Repulsal, let your AWP down.
You'll need a few AWPs in that
if
case.
You tied them together, lengthwise, they'd probably do it pretty quickly.
I wonder if you stacked all the AWPers that have been through the Endpoint team together, would they make it up to the town? Burns aside, memes aside as well. Push coming in towards the B site now. Pat's Money Kukurana desolate. And decimate, should I say. Endpoint now towards the CT side with their pistols and no Kevlar as well.
Oh, Lols on the entry with the double kill off the back of the AK. Harry C and Laney as well. Finding just tons of success on the first entry. More success than my voice is having today, Snuts.
That's very true. You used all of your voice telling those great stories, mate.
I did.
You really did.
I did, yeah.
You did.
So for Lazar, once again, he's got to save. He's got to try and get out of there. He's got the AWP. What fairy tale would Luzzer be?
What fairy tale would Luzzer be?
Yeah, like what would you closely associate him with? Which character? Oh, they know.
Let's have a think here. Let's have a think. I'm trying to word this in a way that makes sense. Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Oh no. What would you say?
I don't know, man. I think Luzzer would be like your.
I'm trying to think. You know, the Cinderella.
No, I think Luzzer's like your Little Red Riding Hood type deal.
Right, explain this.
Like, you know, he's walking along through the forest, and all of a sudden one day he gets proffered by this weird-looking man. He's not sure what it is, and it turns out to be a wolf. And you know, he joins the wolf's team, and then it all goes wrong because the wolf tries to eat him. So that would be like the type of fairy tale that Luzzer would be in.
But how does that make sense in any sense?
It doesn't really.
Oh. I was trying to think of like Fiona from Shrek, where.
That's not really a fairy tale. That's Shrek.
No, but it's the same sort of premise, right?
No,
You
like
know.
fairy tales would be like, you know, the frog that becomes a man.
When he kisses the princess.
Yeah.
Who would he have to kiss though?
Max.
Maybe.
Well, let's see if he can try and kiss goodbye to this round as the push comes
You
round.
saved it, mate.
Sitting up top, perched up, ready to deal some damage. He gets the first with an easy headshot, but the response is there. He didn't follow the little trails of breadcrumbs home, Snods. He stayed out too long, and he was killed by the werewolf.
4 versus 4 then. Docs got the trade frag onto Luzzer. 50 seconds left here and no real ground for Pat's Money Crew. You're going to be having Mighty Max towards B platform, so here's the early information towards B. Who's playing towards drop? It will be Aaron. So, by the time Pat's Money Crew make their mark all the way towards the B bomb site, Jack, it's going to be 20 seconds left on the clock or something ludicrous like that. And they're running out of time and running out of opportunities as they march now towards B platform. It's the I set it up, Jack, and he failed. Aaron, though, will actually deliver.
Yep, Aaron going to come through pretty effectively with a double kill. Wants the third, but Laney just ghetto blasts him out of the server off the back of the Mac-10. Damage is dealt as well, but the AWP coming through, so Pulse is punished. It's just on Brandon Weber. He's coming over. He's ready to unleash his frustration upon the opposition. But can he do it, Snods?
He was brought in to bring balance to the team. And let's see what sort of juggling he can do between these two angles. Instead, Dogs should find that frag. 13-8, and Jack, this was the scoreline I said when Endpoint should be getting a bit, oof. Do you know what I mean? A bit, ooh.
Bit worried.
Bit worried, yeah. This is where the paranoia starts to set in. 13-8, 5 rounds between these two teams. And that discrepancy as well might shorten when you look at the buy coming out from Endpoint. Just going to be upgraded pistols across the board. Kevlar only for Aaron, backed up by the CZ. So potential now for a 13-9 scoreline on Endpoint. After claiming the pistol, claiming the win as well versus the Eco. Haven't actually won any rounds into these buy rounds, so things aren't looking too optimistic.
Luzzer. If he goes to the peak, Docs is there. Ooh, timing. Gets the read, is able to actually back off as well, so he doesn't get punished early. Pat's Money Crew do make their play once again towards drop down. Going to get a slight bit of leeway to work with as they slip through. Max just listening out for audio cues, as he does have support around him. Luzzer coming over. He's got his deagle out. Let's see if he can strike against anyone when they do go for this burst into the site. Obviously, the bomb is still waiting as well, so it's not committed just yet. You've got a minute. It's most likely is going to be a split push play. Actually, the bomb comes back through, so they might go for the straight commit on towards B, Snods.
50 seconds left here. The bomb making its way back in towards outside drop. As Luzzer, Max chime in for frags towards drop position. 3 versus 5 now. Only one player holding towards the A side. That will be Weber. Laney finds one, trying to see if he can equalize the manpower across the board as well, but actually it's going to be Docs to chime in and trade Luzzer, so a 3 versus 2. As the B side is completely bare. Rotations come in, Max above the smoke, peering over it, trying to see if he can spot the head of Docs, but instead, it's Krina that rejoins the ranks towards the B bomb site. They have 2 flashes to work with, no smoke, and Max should be able to line them up here.
Max gets the read, readjusts because of it as he wants to try and get the correct angle, but there's the spray coming out from Crit. Somehow takes him down. Crit as well. Going to be tested now as they swarm towards this site, but him and Docs actually do invite in those retaken CT players and tackle them. and are able to best them out. They find that round as they keep on moving, but this is where Endpoint now have cash once more. They can reinvest into the game, and they need to do so soon, Snods, as their scoreline is getting dangerously close. Double op setup comes through, one on Max, one on Luzza. 3 M4s for the rest of the remaining members, respectively. Tons of utility across the board, 3 defuse kits. They've pumped all the cash into it. Let's see if it's going to pay off for them.
Yeah, for me, if Endpoint loses one, Jack, and it does go 10-13, they're going to be forced onto another weak quasi-buy. The potential for Pat's Money Crew to get to 11th as well. This is where Endpoint might get a bit, unsettled here. We already saw last week Pat's Money Crew with the upset, gaining the overtime victory versus Epiphany Bolt. Aaron, Marty Max getting ever closer now towards B platform. Max with the up going to be spotting just the tip, and there you have it. It's actually enough this time, but will be traded out eventually by Harry.
Yeah, Harry on the trade back there finds that frag, but luckily Aaron's actually able to send him off to the Burns Wall. Pulse as well comes through. This has ignited a spark of momentum now for the side of Endpoint. They're actually back in the game and looking like they do want to try and stop this scoreline from extending any further in favor of PMC, as it's just Crit and Docs. Bit of a duo here. Let's see if they can do too much, Nuts.
50 seconds left. Obviously the bomb inside the smoke, so they're going to be waiting patiently for that to fade, and now Docs with the AWP can clear out these angles towards the platform. The Molotov as well is going to be greatly positioned. Should flush out Aaron. Should flush out Aaron. This is getting mental now, Jack. Another Molotov comes out. Aaron actually able to find the frag, but not before the Molotov will eventually conclude his journey into this round. 1 versus 3. Molotov again coming out from Endpoint. 20 seconds left. Crypt finds one. Just going to be Pulse alone towards the B side as rotation comes in from behind. That's Luzza. So Pulse, if he goes down, Jack.
Ooh.
Oh my, but it is Joe Luzza Loose. If there's one player you want in this clutch situation, it's going to be Joe Loose. He's just thrown a grenade to show exactly where he is as well.
He's going to be running straight out as well.
Oh my God.
As he goes down.
He's just shown exactly where he is.
Bum, 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 bum.
Well, 13-10. Yeah, I mean, this was a 13-4 scoreline, Jack, and Endpoint have lost 6 in a row now. So this is getting rather awkward and quite strange.
Yeah, a little bit bizarre that it has actually gone on this long. This should have been Endpoint really closing this one down. This isn't even the sort of scoreline you'd expect from this fixture. So very, very odd, but let's see as it will continue. Maybe this is actually going to allow Pat's Money Crew to get themselves an upset win on Cobblestone here, because they have tons better economy to work with in terms of the investment. The arsenal looks better. They've got more utility. Everything's just broken on the side of Endpoint. It's come to a bit of a halt
What is
right
that
now.
molly?
This is getting quite awkward.
Tries to molly up Broken Wall, ricochets off of the stone instead and comes back, but the smoke will extinguish it nevertheless. So 13-10 here, minute 20 left on the clock, and it will be a weak buy coming out from Endpoint. Not even a quasi-buy as well. There's no Kevlar to back up those pistols. It's just going to be the eco, essentially. CZs, Deagles, PT50 onto the Mighty Max, but apart from that, Kevlar only on Aaron. Minute 5 seconds left on the clock here. It's going to be Pat's Money Crew grouping together outside B, lining up the smokes, lining up the flashbangs as well, and here comes the hits.
Push coming through. Aaron with the first at the back of the CZ. More to be done. But will the CTs actually be given the opportunity to do so? If they don't clear Broken Wall, Max can be such a huge catalyst in the round. Here's all the information as well as they peek through. Max with the first and the second. As the Mighty Max factor stumps to come out to show. Has to deal more damage with the AK though. Finds the first, wanted to switch through and grab the second, but he's already out of commission. As it comes back to Lols, AK in hand, Luzza. Hot behind him with a Deagle coming through. They've claimed the site though.
Who else would it be? 1 versus 1. And they know exactly where it's coming from. Luzza rotating in from behind, picks up the AWP. And now Lols has a flashbang to work with, so hopefully he flashes and peeks instead of dry-facing to his eventual doom. As he will be taken care of. Luzza with the great timing, crouches behind the stairs. Lols clears out towards the platform and doesn't spot Luzza creeping there towards the steps. 14-10 as Endpoint win the eco. And how much, gas in the tank, steam have Endpoint got left. Sorry, Pat's Money Crew got left here, because Pat's Money Crew, if they win this bar round, Jack, and they go 14-11, and they reset the money for Endpoint, we could definitely have a competitive game on our hands.
Very possible. I mean, it seemed like it could continue on in that manner if PMC can just keep up the level of damage they have actually been dealing out into these rounds. But let's wait and see. The investment comes back through. It is just going to be AKs. There's no AWPs to play with today. Utility's a little bit more restricted as well, going down to just 4 smokes for them Well, Laza goes for the contact face. If they take down Lols, it's not going to be a great start for PMC.
Laza sees the shadow, remember, before he sees Lols, that we'll be able to anticipate the peak coming out from Lols. Weber as well. We'll hear the steps towards Matrix, so Laza turns at such an awkward time, getting up the reface, and faces into his demise. 2 players here, they still for Endpoint as the rotation comes in from Pulse towards the A-bomb site, gets close towards the smoke and crit. Holding the off angle. May be taken care of if he does rotate. Oh, Flash comes in though, and look where crit is, right from behind. Steals the life away from Pulse. Harry C as well finds Aaron towards drop, and a 5 versus 2 here on the reset round as well for Endpoint. Pat's Money crew are looking good, Jack.
Yeah, this is not a good start for Endpoint at all into this round. Things have to change quickly. Weber needs to be a difference maker, can get the initial frag, but couldn't even do that. Goes down as Lols just sprays his way through him with the AK on the entry. The drive-by frag's coming out. Max as well. The misses starting to be displayed with the AWP as he was just going to be swarmed there. A very, very quick round going the way of Pat's Money Crew once again. Pause comes out for Endpoint as they need to adapt sooner rather than later, Snods. There's not too many rounds left to play with, and this isn't going to be going too well for them if it continues in this regard.
Now, we said this was the reset round for Endpoint. Oh!
Tactical pause.
Tactical pause. So I think we saw $5,000 for one player. It's probably going to be Laza, obviously, he saved when he won the 1 versus 1. But apart from that, oh, that's okay. Now we can talk about the money. So 5.7k, so Laza can buy an AWP here. Apart from that, UMPCZ. But, Jack, if, and a big if, Endpoint save this round, they will be able to buy up into the next one onto 4 players at least. So Laza probably going to be buying Deagle, Kevlar, maybe a smoke or something, as it seems like they will be saving for the next round. So PMC might get to a 14-12 scoreline, go up against another buy from Endpoint if they can win that one. 14-11, then another eco, 14-14, Jack. Could be the scoreline here at Endpoint. Hoping to gain their 3rd victory here in the Premiership and carry forward and, you know, meet the likes of Vex on 3 wins, Wind and Rain on 3 wins as well. They want to be getting in towards that category. As, you know, it's actually really competitive at the moment, Jack. We didn't even talk about this, how competitive the UK is at the moment. Vex are doing well, Wind and Rain are doing well, Fish123, or should I say Epsilon, doing well. This Premiership is far more competitive than it usually is. Before, FM would just win every single time, and it got quite redundant, monotonous, you know?
Like a game Monopoly, where someone owns all the train stations.
Much like in real life. Shout out to the National Grid. £100 for an hour-and-a-half train.
Love it. You any good at Monopoly?
Mate, I played it like once or twice in my life.
Just kind of ruins families, doesn't it? Everyone just gets really angry.
Yeah, I played that. There's another Monopoly game. Oh gosh, when you're like a housing investor, it's really good. It's really good.
Nice.
That's the one I enjoy. You're like a property manager, and like you own roads instead of the houses. It's really good.
It's just like a dating sim, but you date houses.
Yeah.
All right, nice.
Well, 14-11 here, and it will be the eco coming out from Endpoint as we discussed earlier. Only one guy had enough to buy up into that, and that was Laza. Instead, going to be buying up the Mag 7. Has Kevlar as well to back it up with the flash to boot. So most likely going to be grouped outside B. Flash can come in from Laza potentially, but he is playing very aggressive towards platforms, so that flash probably won't be used.
Laza waiting close on the broken wall with the Mag 7. He's just going to be hungering for the push to come towards him. For PMC, this is an important round though. Kind of decides if they actually will get a knock-on effective advantage to try and keep it going and actually potentially overpower Endpoint here in this matchup. Because right now it's just very, very slow CS, just waiting down. And they're going to be going for the late round commit. HE as well, tagging up Laza ever so slightly, but he still holds close.
Wow. I've got a bad feeling about this, Jack. They come through. Laza misses the first shot, doesn't really get it too centered on the chest there. And that's going to leave a gaping hole in the defense of the B-bomb side out from Endpoint. Crit getting in close as well, going to spot out players towards drop. Smoke comes out towards electric. And now the site is there. There's no reason to overextend and give away your life. And as Aaron has something to say.
Aaron with the Deagle, coming through very effectively as he just lays to waste there. Ooh, trying to get a bit more out as well. Aaron actually doing just that. Takes down Lols. The Deagle demolition is starting to come through. We foreshadowed how powerful they could be, especially when Weber starts to get up to his old tricks with the things, as it falls just on Harry. Essentially one off back of time here. Aaron just going to jump on it. Weber just trying to go for the full-on defuse for 10 seconds. As the push comes round, knew it was do or die. So he did just hold on to it, but Harry will be able to stop him. But even then, still too close for comfort, as they do force out buyers from PMC. The difference is PMC has tons of money. The funds are looking good. The same could not be said for Endpoint.
Oh, wow. They're going for another eco here, Jack. That was close. Okay, a 1 versus 1. Weber, if he has a defuse kit there, he wins that round. And now they go for the half buy again. So they are really putting a lot of stock into having potentially double ops, full utility as well. But if they concede the 13th round for Pat's Money Crew are going to be 1 round behind Endpoint. And at that point, really, if Endpoint lose the next buy round, Jack, they're going to have to play for overtime. It's going to go 14-14. They'll be broke. They can save 1, play for OT if it goes 15-14 in favor of Pat's Money Crew. And to be honest, this is getting quite ridiculous.
Fight comes through as well. They do actually get the initial contact there, and Harry C obliterates Pulse with the AK, finds the first kill that could be the momentum they need into this round. They take a fair bit of damage though. As this push comes out, really investing quite heavily early on towards this B site. The bomb hasn't committed though, will actually be coming back round, so it seems they do want to go for the full gamble. Try and run away with this site. Now they're finding small bits of success, chipping away at it. Laney coming in. He's going to be the difference maker. Gets a big tackle towards Lazar. Nearly sprays through Max as well as he's forced to fall back, but his teammates come in stampeding through. Aaron with the Deagle comes out as he lays to waste against Laney. Aaron as well, now on with the AK, playing a bit of gun game. He was really the only defining force that did stop them from finding so many rounds here towards B. Lols of a second one, as they've got site control. Snarls, it's just Weber left in a 1v3.
1 versus 3. There is an AK towards Electric or by Pizza. Pete comes in. Grip. Line up the headshot as well to Weber, so 14-13. And when we saw the 13-4 scoreline, we wrote this game off, thought, okay, this is good as done. This is over. But Pat's Money Crew are still here and still kicking. 14-13, and why is there no up on Lazar? Why would you double save for utility and this is crazy, Jack. This is madness. This is madness.
This is Endpoint.
My goodness. Well, 5 M4s for Endpoint to use. No more does Lazar have the AWP towards Statue, which is known for on Cobblestone. He always plays towards Statue, very flamboyant and dynamic with the AWP, very good at those fast flicks. They're gaining, you know, the 1 frag towards the B platform, flicks out towards Speedway, gets the 2nd frag. He's very good at doing that. And instead, he's armed with a rifle. Where is Lazar stationed? Towards A long, alongside of Weber as well. Okay, so they're doing a setup towards A long. It makes sense, at least, but Pat's Money Crew going to be deviating away towards the B-bomb site. Pulse, caught in transition there, kind of coming out of, dropping towards window. Max here boosted towards tree. Also going to be having Aaron as well playing towards Speedway. So heavy investment here towards the drop hole. Smoke comes out. Good smoke as well as the boost comes back out towards tree. But let's see. They're pushing through it.
Max up top. Will he go large in charge as he finds the first? Molotov out as well. He's given just enough time to get it down to at least try and aid his teammates. But Aaron, he really was the driving force behind this round. Pulse as well comes through, but Weber's already been killed by Lols on the drop.
Oh my.
Meaning it's just Laney left in a 1v2. This is going to be deciding if the scorelines equalize or if Endpoint get the advantage as well and actually grab themselves a safety net of overtime. Flashbang comes through. Laney going to be able to push back towards the site and get the bomb down as well. 15 seconds on the clock as time starts to click through. Laney needs to adapt fast. He's trying to roam round. He's able to take both of the firefights in 1v1s. Laney with a free K as well. Finds success. Obliterates
no money,
them.
Jack. It's going to be OT. They have to play for overtime, surely. How much mental fortitude does Weber have left after the crazy, ridiculous shot there from Lols? Jumps out of drop and turns it from a 1 versus 3 into a 1 versus 2, just like that. 14-14, another well-timed pause, and, you know, well chosen pause as well, because if you're Endpoint in this scenario, you wouldn't be able to face the embarrassment. Because I've been there, Jack. I've been there when we were 13-3 up in Premier, one of our games, so we lost that one. Embarrassing. What else did we have? We had a 12-4 lead, lost that. You know, this Endpoint, I say this Endpoint team, all the iterations of Endpoint really have struggled at closing out games. Do you remember the UK Masters Finals, end of 2016? Where they would have, you know, their 13-11 scorelines or 13-9 scorelines. They'd always lose because they couldn't close out games. Back when they had me, Ezio on the roster as well, struggled to close out games. Why is this such an issue for Endpoint?
Who knows? But keeping it close right now. 14-14 is the scoreline if you're just joining us. And obviously for Endpoint as well, this is not the matchup that should be that close. There's a couple of teams in their group that you expect them to have close affairs with or potentially lose to, but PMC was not one of them. So for PMC as well, if they actually do find an upset win here, that's huge.
Yeah,
huge.
I mean, Jack, who do you think out of these 4 teams? Let's just, you know, expect Vexed, Wind and Rain, Fish123, i.e. Epsilon, and Endpoint to make it top 4, if that's the predictions going around at the moment. Where would you place Endpoint in that list? Second, obviously you would have Fish123 first.
I think, yeah, it's going to be Fish123 with the first spot. Endpoint, in theory, should be second, but obviously this doesn't look too good for them as the push comes through as well. Going to force it out to overtime most likely now, as already 2 of the frags go the way of Pat's Money Crew in seconds. For Endpoint, it's just 3 Musketeers remaining, and they should fall fairly quickly. Pulse, though, is the only one trying to keep him alive into this. And some deagle damage coming through, but it ends with, they're way too abrupt, as they just couldn't do anything, Snods.
Max had his 1 versus 3 earlier on their T side. But back then he had the AK and Kevlar to help him, and in this regard, no Kevlar, just a CZ. And it will be 15 for Pat's Money Crew. Oh my. I hope they just don't rush B, they don't rush A, and they play a great round, because we like the Dark Horse storyline, we like the upsets here, don't we, Jack? We like it when what we expected isn't delivered. And that's just a takeaway. And then you get quite angry.
It's true, you expect what you ordered to be delivered.
Exactly, and
No
maybe a little bit
upsets.
extra, do you know what I mean, if they're nice.
Yeah.
But 3 players stationed out towards A long. Lazza with the exact same setup as we've seen so many times so far, but it has worked a few times. The issue is, though, they stationed 2 players towards A long at that, so longer rotations. You know, usually when you have your AWPer towards connectors, fast rotate towards the B side. And talking of AWPers, who's building it right now, Jack?
Got the mighty Max doing in the AWP. Interesting to see what Max actually
And
does.
he's the one playing, you know, the statue chicken coop position, so...
He's taking it off Lazza.
It makes sense, though, right? The double AWP setup on the CT side is used very well. I mean, famously, Pasha and Snacks. Snacks would AWP towards A long, Pasha would AWP towards the B side. So it's nothing, you know, too crazy to see. But Dox has got this trade kill a few times, and Lols will check it out. And now they know exactly where Lazza is, and his teammate has gone down. Dox finds the first frag. Lazza trying to see if he can run away, but it's crit. And here he comes, and...
Oh no.
Are you joking?
No idea,
you are
Snods.
joking.
No one's read it, no one's cleared the angle because they've walked around because the smoke, they haven't checked it. Lazza, he can try and backstab here. This will be the only reason they're not going to be able to close this down right now and get 16-14 is from Lazza if he plays his cards right. Aaron as well, depending on the timing, spots out Harry C, but he still falls short. Here comes Lazza with a backstab as he slowly encroaches from the rear, tiptoeing round, but the angle's covered. Dox is there.
Oh my gosh.
Dox finds the kill. It's going to be a 3-on-1. Max has to clutch it out to actually keep Endpoint alive, or else PMC are going to take the win here. Max comes in, fires off with the reaction shot, but Max is gone. Pat's Money Crew overpower Endpoint. They win in a 16-14 fashion as